afternoon.
Yeah.
While he sought to speak more broadly about the goals of the organization in the year ahead, the conversation was quickly dominated by the carnage playing itself out in the Gaza Strip.
I believe it is especially critical to find solutions to two burning conflicts that are having profound global consequences: Ukraine and Gaza.
With mounting evidence that Israel has so far ignored the provisional rulings of the International Court of Justice,
what do you make of the case?
we pressed the UN chief on how he views the case brought by South Africa and the subsequent lack of compliance being witnessed.
We fully support the International Court of Justice. We think the International Court of Justice is the right entity to pronounce itself on these issues. We fully support the decisions of the International Court of Justice, and we clearly express that all those decisions must be implemented. And so it is absolutely essential that all the decisions are implemented. And obviously, I have full confidence in the International Court of Justice to be able to act if those decisions are not properly implemented.
After swiftly firing several employees of UNRWA accused by Israel of aiding Hamas in its assault on October 7th, he was pressed about the lack of due process, given that investigations to test the allegations are in their infancy.
We received allegations in relation to 12 names, and those allegations were credible. Now, you need if the allegations are credible, you are dealing with a high risk. And when we are dealing with high risk, and you have rules and regulations that allow you to do so, you, I believe, should do what I did, which was to terminate immediately the contracts based on the so-called best interests of the organization, which is what the rules and regulations allow me to do. At the same time, the investigation team was immediately on the ground. And if I have made any mistake, it can be corrected in the future. But we couldn't run the risk not to act immediately, as the accusations were related to criminal activities that are really dangerous.
And as efforts to secure a new hostage deal in exchange for a lengthy pause in fighting make slow progress, he articulated his position.
For me, the question of the liberation of hostages is absolutely essential from the human point of view. I had the possibility to receive several hostages, two hostages in Davos, families of hostages, and people knowing them, and I know what the suffering is related to that. So when we have a negotiation in which the release of hostages is in one hand, and in which different aspects of pauses, ceasefires, or restoring calm, several different kinds of language were used, when there is a negotiation of this nature, I think it's in the interest of everybody. And it's in the particular interest of the government of Israel to make sure that these negotiations are successful.
With hope fading for Palestinians trapped in Gaza, we asked if he had a message for a people who feel increasingly deserted by the international community.
My message to the people of Gaza is a message of total solidarity and total commitment. Solidarity with their horrible suffering, commitment to do everything to mobilize the UN system to provide the possible assistance we can provide, and at the same time to go on with a very active global advocacy for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire to take place.
The UN estimates that 100,000 Gazans have either been killed, injured, or remain missing after 4 months of fighting that has leveled large parts of the enclave. Shervin Riceby's SABC News, New York.